Hello everyone, welcome back. It is time for another one of these wild-ass episodes of Long Time Watcher, First Time Writer. It's episode 58, and I am, as always, your long-time watcher, King Fats the 95th, joined once again by my wonderful first-time writer crew, which includes Action Shakespeare.
Hello.
B-Drops.
Hello.
And Ilian Dignanagan.
Hello.
Damn, fucking Shakes coming at you.
Yeah, I just want to run straight at you, just make sure you're on your toes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you paying attention?
Oh, I hope you dodged, motherfucker.
Or are you gonna get
Hey, viewer, two for
True.
flinching.
Yeah, seriously. Oof.
Write down in the comments if you got jump scared by Shakes' intro.
Yeah, and if you do, sorry, I guess. I don't know, we don't have a prize for you, just, keep that head on a swivel. You never know what's gonna happen. Yeah. Also, we have plenty of time to insult our viewers because we're doing a short batch today. Only 3 episodes. Those are 40, 41, and 42. That is Impulse, original air date November 19th, 2000. We're getting close to the end of the year. Control, original air date November 26th of 2000. And Battlefield, original air date December 3rd, 2000. How about that shit? By the time we are done with this episode of the podcast, we will be in December of 2000.
Whoa.
We will be a month away from 2001. A year that has no significance in any way, shape, or form whatsoever.
Not whatsoever. I've been waiting for the point in time when my sister gets born.
Ooh.
Which is January 2001.
Aw.
I wonder if
New
we'll get
Year's baby.
there. Adorable. What is not adorable, however, are the grungy that we are about to talk about here, starting with episode 40, Impulse. It's a, this is a quick little episode that's, doing some more mystery solving, and of course we got ourselves a grungy doing grungy things, so reading the synopsis here real quick. Yusuke, Sakurako, Ichijo, and Anakita discuss Kuuga, number 0, and the mysterious final prophecy as another grungy begins attacking airplanes. So, heck yeah, this is the episode where we get to watch a Jenny VTuber do her thing.
I love Jenny VTuber.
I adore Jenny VTuber so much. I'm glad that she's here. I appreciate the way that she operates.
Killing people.
Yeah.
God forbid women do anything. I think
You're
Jenny
right.
deserves to kill a few hundred people if she wants.
You're so fucking right.
This is a note that I had for the next episode, but I want to bring it up now because there are a couple of shots where it's relevant in. But I really appreciate Jenny showing up now in the show because every now and again we'll get a group shot of her, Liu Kang, and the Grungy Prince, and they look like a fucking
So
Hunter
good.
x Hunter cosplay group.
They do! Oh my god. You're so right.
They totally do.
She's the Leorio of the group.
Yeah.
I love that for her.
That's so fucking funny.
Oh my god.
It is
I hadn't
amazing.
even thought about that.
It's so good.
I have a bone to pick with this opening scene. I'm sorry.
Is it the glare on the door?
No, it is something much less technical.
Okay.
Is it darkness?
Well, I don't
over
know. That's
freaking
just
darkness?
hurting my eyes.
It's about the construction of the curry.
Ah.
Oh, alright, let's go.
Alright. Is it because you notice them chopping them raw as carrots and them raw as onions and then just throwing
Yes,
them into
like,
what looks to be a pot already full of
Of
brown
boiling
curry?
water.
Yeah.
Like, the number one cardinal sin here is the treatment of the onions.
Did not saute them shits at all.
Like, you can add onions as a later step, as a later ingredient into your curry, as sort of like a layering, but like 90% of the time if you're using, like, this is explicitly how you make curry with roux blocks, which is probably not something you should be selling as a restaurant. But even then, the instructions generally would like you to saute your vegetables for improved flavor. Specifically for onions, you want to get a little bit of cook on your onions, especially if you caramelize them. That is just wonderful for your onion flavor. Specifically, also most Japanese style curries start with an onion base for the gravy. So I'm just confounded at this construction, because it must be for adding curry blocks too, because if he's making curry from scratch, this is the worst I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I love him, and I don't want to say that to him.
You scared this is the
Listen.
worst you ever done it.
Godai is allowed to have one flaw, and it can be that he's not that good at cooking.
He apparently is, which is the problem. Like, textually,
Yeah.
he's pretty good at this when he actually does it.
Mm.
The glare in the door is pretty bad, though.
His comfort food is garbage curry.
Yeah, he's just
Listen,
fucking
You can-
around.
You can make whatever ridiculous curry you want, but if you're working at a restaurant, you have to have a different standard.
No, it's the special of the week.
The special is Godai slop.
Yeah.
Yeah, something special.
Yum, yum,
you know
my
what?
favorite.
Nana's eating that shit up and licking the plate. You know,
Yeah.
and she's gonna
Or
say,
Nichijou
"Give me some
both.
more."
She eats one bite and she's like, something's weird about this curry. And then Godai says, "You think so?" I wasn't sure. I was just experimenting when I made it. To which she's like, "No, actually, the weird thing is that it's the most delicious thing I've ever tasted in my life, actually."
Absolute
Did you
down
sweat in
bed
this?
sip.
I'm
Can
sorry.
you sweat in this? Will you sweat in this? When will you sweat in this?
Can I pay you to sweat in this? But it's so fun having a character named Nana because it's so close to Nona.
Mm.
And I legitimately thought Shakes was referring to me for like the first 5-10 seconds of that bit.
Would you eat
Well-
Godai slop?
Yeah,
Did you
would
eat
you eat
Godai
Godai's sweat? Answer.
Answer the question.
You're the one. You're the one who needs to answer.
You can't.
Don't deflect.
Well, it depends.
You know what?
So
that's
it's
a
not a
valid
no.
answer.
I'll take it for now.
All right, Shakes. Now the mirror is pointed at thee. Godai sweat, yes or no?
I wasn't the one who. This sounds like a similar name.
Yeah, but still, everyone's getting a hand on this ball now.
Is he putting
This
it in the curry, or are we
Dealer's
just licking
choice.
it off of his body?
Dealer's choice.
Whoa.
Wowie.
I mean, I'll take either, but like,
B drops. Godai sweat, yes or no?
oh, it's good.
Well, geez. Well, my honest answer is, it really depends how much and whether it was unintentional.
Mm.
If I happen to see a stray drop fall into the pot while he's working and he didn't notice, I'm not gonna make a deal about it.
So
If it's his secret ingredient, though, there will be a problem.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it is specifically not a spice that you wish to be added.
No.
Not with intention.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how about you, Fats? I think I know the answer, but I'll
I'm
ask
in the
anyway.
I'm in the same boat as B drops. I will
Oh.
accept a little Godai sweat as a treat, but if you tried to season my shit with Godai sweat, we are throwing hands.
This is the biggest upset
You'll
I
lose.
think of the evening.
You may think that we're freaks, but King
Yeah.
Fats and I share a respect for food.
Listen, there's a different bodily fluid I'm trying to taste.
Hmm.
I don't know. That
There
one
it
might
is.
alter the taste more than anything.
No, for
Like,
sure.
the sweat's just gonna be water in the grand scheme of things once you boil a bunch of curry.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But if I'm gonna have to drink something, I want to make sure I taste it. You know what I'm saying?
I think this is one of the worst conversations we've ever had.
Surely, it
I'm gonna
can't
go
be.
back to the
And
episode.
this is my fault. This is my fault. I
I'm-
suddenly realized.
Congratulations.
I'm gonna go back to the episode. It's okay.
We've done it.
I'm gonna do that right now.
All right,
That's my bone to
take us
pick
back
with
to the
opening.
episode, Shakes.
I don't know if so. I didn't do a quick rewatch.
Shoulda.
Maybe I should have, but I vaguely remember most of it, and I think the fun is remembering.
That's fair.
Especially when my memory is consciously unreliable right now, but I choose to believe that what my memory is telling me, and that Pops came down from the stairs in like a cartoon set of PJs and nightcap.
Uh,
He
you
was
know
definitely
what?
carrying the energy.
Okay, yeah, the energy is there. His top definitely looks like it.
Okay.
Like, if he didn't have this, like, little sweater vest and the khakis on, and, like, if he had pants that looked like this shirt, I would be right there with you.
Okay, something in my brain was, but I do remember him being very sleepy and also going, "Hey, you work here? That's crazy."
True.
And also him opening the door in this wicked ass glare from what I can only imagine is a studio light, just
Probably.
reflecting that door, actually kind of hurting my eyes somehow
Ow.
through the screen.
It's like going outside in the Texas sun.
Yeah.
It's
Now you get a little taste
stop
of what we
pointing
deal
the
with.
glass at that.
Never. The glass is
Oh.
always pointing in your eyes.
Close the door. Stop it. You have no reason to be at the door right now. You're just being wistful.
I'm surprised that no one commented on Godai's little Kermit the Frog attempt.
Yeah,
That gets
was
absolutely
great.
slammed.
It was my notes.
I'm glad we could share that moment.
I was just weirdly mad about the curry. I'm so sorry.
No, that's so fair.
Are you getting mad about the curry again?
Oh, Godai, I can't stay mad at you.
God, Godai and Kermit the Frog, what a powerful combination.
They
I
would
think-
save the world.
I
They
think
really would.
Kermit would not be able to stand him.
You know,
I think
I think
Yeah.
Godai
Maybe
would
just a
ruin
little bit.
several things about Kermit's life. Well, maybe saving it.
not the least of which would be a number of Muppets getting murdered by the Grungy.
But God, just all of those horrible deaths, but they're happening to Muppets.
I need the rag dolls back.
Yeah, right. Just throwing him across the room.
I really want this Muppets Kamen Rider Kuuga crossover now.
That
I
would
really
be
want to see
very fun.
Kermit try to talk to the Grongi so badly. You know he tried to talk them down.
He absolutely would. That's so powerful of you, Kermit.
Kermit's just trying to put on a show, but these damn murderous guys in suits keep happening. Oh shit! You know what they would do for the Muppet crossover episode is a Muppet Grongi
Oh,
would come into
true.
play. Like
Need
one of
to
those
see the
Sweetums
gender.
like size
Yeah.
Jim Henson monstrosities. And then they have to get the Kamen Rider in there.
God, that would be so good.
Oh, that would be
But I guess
so
you
great.
have to have some Muppet do a Henshin gag, right?
Oh my
You have
Oh,
to have
for
some
sure.
Muppet
Miss Piggy.
transform, even if it's
Transforms
oh, God,
into their
maybe.
VA.
I want Miss Piggy to come kick some ass because she's one of the few I know would.
Mm.
Yeah,
feel-
I
I
mean,
feel like
if,
you give
at
the
least she'd
Henshin
be
gag to
talking in the
Gonzo.
situation.
Yeah.
It would be like when Ichijo helps save the day, but instead of a giant fucking sniper rifle, she just comes in and karate chops it.
Yeah.
She comes in for a kick, which is just choreographed by throwing the Muppet across the
Yeah.
room. I love you, Miss Piggy.
God bless Miss Puggy. God bless all the
Bless
Muppets.
Miss- Kermit's kind of a gender. We have to move on.
Wait, hold on. Hold on.
You're so right. Anyways,
Just drop a bomb
Yeah,
like
okay,
that, then try to
okay,
run
no,
away,
I was-
motherfucker.
that's what I was gonna say. Mood, and also let's continue.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Alright, as long as we're all in agreement. We head over to the police station very briefly after the opening, where, you know, we're doing cop stuff. We're, you know, trying to investigate the Grongi and see if we can, try to figure out what we can do to stem the tide of them. We're also specifically doing some reports on ULF-0. We have an updated death count for him. At this point, he has killed 165 other Grongi. Update that death count, baby. We got 165 killed by one dude. Posting up pretty good numbers, all things considered. We head over to a dark and mysterious warehouse where Old Man McSunglasses, who has come up a couple of times in the show.
oh yeah, the dealer.
Yeah, the dealer. He seems to be standing, I guess, Daguva's like belt buckle or whatever. And, you know, Rosarango shows up and she's like, ominous girl boss stuff, and he's like weird old man stuff, and then she's like ominous girl boss stuff, and then she girl bosses out of the scene. That is pretty much that scene to a T. Go check if you don't believe me.
I loved it when she showed up and girl bossed over everything.
All over them, yeah. When she said it's girl bossing time, she
Yeah.
girl bossed all over those guys.
She hasn't yet, but
Yeah, she hasn't yet, but some.
I'm waiting
Sure,
for
I
it.
when she
I do
will.
love that scene though.
Sorry, spoilers.
yeah, it's upcoming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. Speaking of upcoming scenes, this is another stupid gripe I have about nothing important happening at Pole Pole.
Do it.
When we go back there immediately afterward, we do see Yusuke is wiping off tables and and talking, and he's holding a basket of wax fruit, and I'm weirdly mad about it.
You know, I was so curious about the basket of wax fruit too. Because why is that not just a basket of fruit?
And I know it's because they're on a set, and this isn't an actual restaurant.
Y'all could've
It
bought
makes
some
me
fruit.
more mad than I can logically justify.
I can justify the wax fruit though.
Alright, justify the wax fruit for the restaurant.
Putting out fake food in order to be like, oh, look how natural and fancy we are. You ever go to a restaurant that has like faux food sitting out?
Not anything that wasn't like those very specific like wax model displays that are like, this is what our food looks like.
Yeah, I was
Right.
gonna say, not anywhere that wasn't just displaying models of their food exactly.
Because I can't place it, but I do know that I've definitely been to places that are like, maybe this isn't the same, but it does have the plastic grapes, you know?
I've
Or-
seen
I mean,
the plastic grapes in like
yeah,
certain Italian
so-
restaurants.
So here's my question. I know it's a whole basket, so like it's hard to justify. But I'm just saying, in fiction, do you think this is still wax fruit, or do you think there's a
That's the
basket
thing.
of real fruit? Either way,
That's
as a decoration in Pole Pole, which I guess is not out of place amidst its style. It's got this kind of
Save-
garden house, thing going.
I am confounded by what appears to be a wax artichoke amongst the fruit.
Yeah.
Or is it broccoli? I'm not sure.
No,
but
that's
it
for
looks
sure
like
like an artichoke heart.
Yeah.
And what are you doing here, my man? With these
Wax.
bananas and what looks to be a mango.
Yeah, a mango. That might be another mango in the back. I think that red one, it doesn't look like an apple. I think it's a pomegranate. Like a weird small pomegranate.
Small granite.
Small
Small
granite.
granite.
I would like to.
I'm getting hung up on all the wrong things.
I'd like to think though that I just had this stuff lying around and was like, "Hey, pops, I know it'll liven up the place."
Honestly,
Some fruit.
Honestly,
like that checks
It
out.
is a pop of color.
that makes the most sense for sure.
Maybe they stopped putting out real bananas because Yusuke ate them all.
God, yeah, that's
Keep
why
it.
I could see that.
he needed to pay back the bananas, but instead he just got this wax fruit bunch.
Truly, if this show wanted to tell me that Yusuke Godai was Goro the whole time, just 30 years older, 25 years older, not a terrible age gap, like I'd believe it.
Goro Godai. It's a powerful name.
Yeah, he changed his name. If the name for if the show from the beginning wanted to just tell me that dude's name was Goro, whatever his last name was,
Mm-hmm.
I would have believed it. I would have believed
Yeah.
it in a second with every way he's acting.
Oh god, that would have been like Mari came to Pol Pol one day.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
Or Yuri. whoever the fuck his
Yuri
old
was his
sister
actual
is.
sister. But
That's true.
I don't blame you.
Part of me refuses to believe that, but fair enough.
Yeah, right.
That's what the show says.
It is just like I've mentioned in the greatest video essay of all time, Silent Rider. The Rider girls are so important to the overall consideration of the first Kamen Rider, yet still are somehow pointless. So
It's true, I'm often saying this.
so I think I am justified in saying the wrong name.
100%. Listen,
don't.
You didn't say dog-leash, and that's the important thing. You weren't, like, the most wrong you could be.
That's because,
You're so mean to her.
What was
I will never
Dogleash's
respect
name?
dog-leash.
What was her name? Oh, God.
I don't know.
I know I wrote it down in my other notes.
I can't just Google
You
Kamen
gotta
Rider.
grab the tome.
No, Rika was the motorcycle girl.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't remember. I couldn't
I'm not gonna
pretend to
pretend I
attempt
know.
to possibly know Dogleash's actual name. Dogleash is
I'm
not
sorry.
real.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm trying to respect women more.
She's a false entity that we all imagined and put into the show.
I'm sorry, women,
I'm sorry, women. I'm sorry,
for
Dogleash.
you being in Kamen Rider Ichigo.
Yeah.
Listen,
You have my
I,
sympathies, women.
I am sorry to women, but I will never apologize to Dogleash. She has earned nothing from me. She does not have my sympathy. She doesn't have my respect. She barely has my ire.
Goodness gracious.
She's a non-entity.
You know what, unfortunately, barely has us?
This episode,
Yeah, this episode. We gotta give it more attention.
we should
Yeah,
probably talk
I'm
about
sorry.
this episode just a little more.
Keep yelling about the food in the show.
No, it's great.
I
Appreciate the
want
vibes.
I want a spin-off series about Nana's acting career or pursuits. We get more. I wrote a note down that paid off more than I thought it would, in that we do get to see Nana's side of things later in the episode, or at least a
Yeah.
chunk of it. But like, I just want to see. She's been just going on this journey in the background the whole series, and I just kind of want to watch that entire show that is happening. Just a show about a girl becoming an actor, and occasionally, midway through the season, her teacher dies to a crazy superpowered terrorist.
Yeah. that would
And
be
it never
great.
comes
That'd
up
be
again.
so dramatic. Yeah.
And it never comes up to her specifically. She never has to confront the violence herself.
Well, I mean, good for her. I mean, shit.
It's just it's a funny conceptually to me, I guess, is that she has had this whole series of events in her life
No, yeah.
that you could make a drama out of, but you would have to include that that at some point the teacher just fucking dies, and that there's
She
a
would
whole problem happening where hundreds of thousands of people are dying.
It's great. I think her series would be extremely in line with the tone of like Gintama and Osamatsu-san, where 99% of the time it's just like a funny gag series, maybe a little more slice of lifey for her. And then every now and then they just give you a ridiculously like emotionally heavy episode out of nowhere to just devastate you.
Yeah.
And then we're back to the old shenanigans. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about
You're so right.
Don't worry about it.
It's just, yeah, the constant backdrop of mass death that she never gets to touch, except for the one time it sort of grazes her periphery.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the other time it grazes her when she goes to the pool and almost dies.
Yeah.
I was describing this situation, and then I realized I guess that's just like if you made a story about her going to acting school at the beginning of COVID.
A little bit.
Would just sort of
Oh.
carry the same weight, exactly the same scenarios of just wow, there's thousands of people dying every day outside, and also my teacher recently died to this, but I gotta just do my thing.
God, yeah.
Nothing in my life has stopped.
I know I've made the COVID parallels previous, but yeah, as like looking at it from the civilian perspective of Kuuga, it's just like, wow, yeah, that sucks. Actually, that's wretched.
It's a good thing we can't relate.
Yeah, it's a good thing that never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking. Never mind. I definitely can't relate.
Hey, speaking of relatable, who wants to go
Yeah.
look at the failure?
Yeah, please tell me about my fail MILF, because that's the
Hello,
only thing I
okay,
wrote
then.
about this scene, and I don't remember what happened.
Oh.
Oh, right, it was her waking up.
Yeah.
Late.
Fail no
She's
filth.
hurriedly trying to put on her makeup and do her hair so she can go to her big important meeting. As she gets harangued by her mom about when are you going to mother your child, and she's like, "What child?" Once again,
I don't see him
our
cast.
headcanon from the last. Yeah. Reinforcing our headcanon from the last episode that Enokita just forgets Sayaru exists when he's not directly within eye line.
Maybe he doesn't exist.
Maybe he doesn't exist.
Maybe he was all in her head the whole time.
Mass hallucination.
I was thinking a little bit about after this scene, because I believe basically her mother told her make time for him, and she said, "I will when there's no unidentified life forms." And I just can't help but think, and maybe they'll correct this later if that's not the case, but all evidence thus far has supported the idea that she has always been like this. This is not new regarding, like, the unidentified life form attacks, the Grongi attacks may have, increased her workload, but it doesn't sound like this is remotely new behavior for her.
Yeah, no, not really. That is definitely at least the impression that the show gives, is that this is just kind of the latest in an ongoing problem of Enokita's abilities as a mother.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because she's pre-Grongi divorced.
Mm-hmm.
Got the kid in the divorce, though. So
which was maybe not for the best.
It makes you think about what happened there.
Yeah.
Might have been some gender biases in the decision there.
Yeah,
it
could have
happens.
been.
It's possible, yeah.
Yeah, because you're either looking at gender biases, but also, his grandma's there, so, like, maybe that level of family was more in favor. Or this dude is even worse than her. Or
Unbelievable.
You would probably pay attention to this kid, but also, like, have him run for cigarettes.
Yeah, maybe. I was gonna say,
I don't know how much of a deadbeat this guy is. Or maybe he's perfectly fine. Maybe he's just said, "Fuck you and this kid."
Yeah, it's possible. We do at least, like, we don't get the whole story, but Enokita at least tells us enough to know that he is the one who left. It's not like I had to get me and my kid away from this shit ass dude. It was like hey, I was a really bad mother and wife, and my husband got sick of that shit and pieced the fuck out. So I'd like to think he have been at least decent enough, but
I would just love to know more. Honestly, I want to know more, Enokita. Please tell me your backstory.
Tell me about your ex.
Tell me about your ex. I need to know all the juicy details.
Yeah. Tell me about how bad you fumbled the bag.
Not bad enough to lose the kid.
Yeah. Fair enough.
We'll see.
Speaking of the police, we head back over to the police station where we get just the sweetest, the most sugar-coated, cinnamon-flavored, warm hugs, lovey-dovey scene you ever did see in a police drama. I love you, Godai, so fucking much.
Local idiot charms entire police station.
By
getting on the radio.
Equal parts he has been adopted and become the crush of every single cop.
Oh, for sure.
They would all die for him.
What a scam.
Who wouldn't? I think my favorite thing about this scene too is the looks on the three cops who we can see, the looks on their faces as they have this conversation with Godai. They look like proud parents. It's like, oh, really that's our boy.
Yeah.
Like, to be specific, what he does when he calls in on the police radio is he's like, I was wondering, has anybody gotten sick? The weather's gotten colder lately.
Yeah.
Such a good boy.
God, such a good y'all want anything?
He's just so considerate. Like, thinking about this, and when he, for instance, a couple episodes, he had brought Sakurai that big bag of bread for lunch. He was like, "You haven't eaten, right? I was told you really like bread."
So
like,
here's
completely
40 of them.
unprompted. He's so sweet.
He is
so
the
nice.
most baby ever. Never before.
And like, I know it wasn't his intention, but somehow he makes you feel even better about it too. like in that instance where he's like, oh, I'm going to take this one.
This
So
one's
then
for
it's
me.
not just like dropping a gift on your lap. Like he has sort of broken that barrier and started eating the food as well. Now it's a shared meal.
God bless you,
Yeah.
Godai.
Thank
You get to share a meal with Godai for $1,000.
Share.
Yeah, I was gonna say what I wouldn't fucking give.
Worth it.
All the money in the world I would pay for a meal with Yusuke Godai. I love that this conversation also ends with Godai saying, "Let's all do our best today." Like he's the
We're going to
fucking
do
new
it.
intern. God bless you,
Yeah.
Godai. You're the best. From there we jump over to the airport where we get the first of a couple Hunter x Hunter cosplay meetups for these next 2 episodes. As we're gonna figure out how Jenny VTuber is gonna do her game. Currently it seems she is planning on doing 243 kills all at once, which is a pretty big undertaking, but also like the other 2 roll up and is like 243 in one sitting. That's pretty weak. You're posting some pretty weak numbers there. And she's like, well, yeah, but that's because the finals are coming up. I want to make sure I don't waste all my energy. Gotta make sure I'm limber in case I have to fight one of you dickheads.
Work smarter, not harder, idiot.
Exactly.
She's so efficient.
She's so efficient with her little laptop that she uses to
So
blog
To blog.
posts. Yeah,
Yeah,
on her fucking GeoCities.
I'm love her.
What was
Yeah.
Oh my
Gronky kills
God.
forever at geocities.com.
You just make an office lady villain. I love her. I'll die for her.
Yeah,
That's
that's
fair.
all. I mean, that's all you gotta do.
Really
Honestly-
not as tapped a market as I would think. At least not
Yeah,
that I
I was
know
literally
of.
just about to say there should be more Office Lady villains.
I'm making
should-
notes. I'm taking
yeah?
taking notes.
There
I will
should
be-
be
I will
more
confer
office
with the
ladies,
council.
I think
Yeah.
better
Well,
paid.
great
more.
news. Oh. Bad news.
Yeah.
Neutral news, I guess. There's a lot of them. They're not paid more.
There are so many Office Ladies.
She's got to get on the second plane.
Give me a story about them actually making like 30 an hour and having fun with their life.
No.
Is that so much to ask, Japan? Oh, okay,
Watch
sorry.
Wakakozake. That might be
Okay,
the best
thank
you'll
you.
get.
Yeah, that's fair. She does seem pretty satisfied with life, all told.
Wait, is that the food one?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I've already watched it.
I gotta rewatch all those so I can take some notes. Now that I've semi become beer drinker, at least when people give it to me.
Completely unrelated, but real quick, this is me saying watch Wakakozake. It takes about 30 minutes in total to
Yeah.
watch all the episodes because they're 2 minutes each, so
Just
great.
little morsels.
little snickies. Little drink snickies. But yeah, Kamen Rider.
Yeah, Kamen Rider. So we get to watch Jenny blog, and then she's like, "I've got a plane to catch," and then
She enters the
obviously
void.
subsequently murder people on it. Yeah, and then she enters the
The
blinding
blind
whiteness.
void.
She goes into
Yeah,
the light.
Squints.
That was cool as hell. I'm glad they did that.
It was a great shot.
That was
I'm not
good
sure
one,
how they
yeah.
did it, but it was dope as fuck.
I mean, my guess is that they just had real high exposure on the camera, and
Yeah,
just
maybe.
they were inside shooting the outside.
Hmm.
So everything was just so fucking washed out by the sunlight that it would just turn stark white on their camera, except for the door, which would be real dark, and just have someone in that door.
Incredibly powerful. Super cool shot. You should go check it out. You know what else you should check out? Jonan University, where we get to watch a good old Godai classic. It's time for more B&E. Yeah.
The worst
It's
he's
been a
ever
while.
done it.
The worst he's ever done it.
He's rusty.
Speaking of, just like the curry, his B&E is also real fucking whack today.
I'm not gonna lie, I was really expecting this to go somewhere, and at least to my recollection, it kind of doesn't.
Nope. It's just doesn't like shit this
Yeah,
time.
he sucks shit at it, and he's like, "That was weird, right? Man, that was weird. Why was I
just
so
did real
bad at that?"
today.
Yeah,
And Ichijo's just like, yeah, I guess. Like,
Damn,
I
that
can't
kinda
not
sucked.
fuck him, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
oh god. Look at him.
look at him there. Just
Your
flailing
brain
on
is
the
so
floor.
beautiful.
Just
Good,
just
that was
put him on the
terrible. I
table.
need to show you how to enter things.
So true, Bessie. I'm literally always saying this.
Woo! Wowie,
I had
wowie.
to.
Spicy.
Powerful. We are unlocking more powerful versions of this podcasting group every day, and I love it.
I was not sure if I would say I'm proud of you all. And I got stuck on it. I'm sorry.
Well, we're proud of you, B-Drops.
Yeah.
That's the important
What
thing.
did I do?
You were
were
my
here.
friend.
Oh.
Yeah.
Caught him.
Got his ass. Get dunked,
Well.
idiot.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of idiots, we're conversating about Godai and him power, how him be strong, how him green, how him bloom, how him rem, and how him sometime even herbal,
And all of
What
them
it mean.
gold.
and all
And
of them
it's-
gold.
And it's pretty nuts. And also, your T-shirt logo is actually a little evil.
Yeah.
Just wanted to let you know.
Hey, whoops.
T-dubs.
Hey,
And also,
bud,
you
sorry
might
about
be
that.
evil a little.
I did in fact take a bad picture of that symbol I showed you at the concert last week. It was in fact a swastika. Might wanna maybe
I
get
didn't
that one
wanna
off of your
say
shirt,
it.
my guy.
But it had been on my mind as the comparison, as the analogy of just like, oh, remember that really cool fucking logo? Oh, it's 2 dashes away from being a hate symbol.
Yeah, it turns out my camera lens was in fact smudged. That is a swastika, my man. I do
Man,
apologize.
I thought it was
Oh,
so
no.
unique.
I already put it on my shirt and my belt
my bike.
and my bike and my apron.
Oh man, I gotta send so much shit back.
Shit, dude.
I do like them going like, hey, yeah, you might become evil, and he's like, oh yeah, I definitely almost became evil.
He's like, oh yeah, I remember that time I almost became evil.
I'm like really impressed at how in stride he took this whole conversation. He was just like, huh, that's interesting. Yeah, I was kind of evil one time, but it's fine. I'll be good.
I just have to never get mad ever again.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll work, I'm sure.
I have a heart that is pure of light. I am one of the 7 Disney hearts of light.
He's a princess of heart. He is 100% a
He would
princess
be
of
a
heart.
princess of heart.
I mean, he's just Sora, but sure, okay.
Listen, he can be both.
Yeah, he's powerful enough to be both.
Nah. He's just Sora. I'm sorry, he's even got the little surrendering to darkness tinge.
He did have that.
Damn,
Just
this
a
is so
tiny
true,
little bit,
bestie.
you know.
Yeah.
He's opened his heart just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
Would that make him...
Does that make Ichijo Riku?
Is
Yes.
he more like
Whoa.
Ventus?
Well,
Oh, this is...
maybe I don't know.
Hmm.
I guess Sora never really got mad.
It was always like... It was just either giving himself up or sort of... that's all it really was. He always just sort of relinquished himself anytime
It's
he
true.
fell close to darkness. He was just like, well, I guess this is happening. Goodbye.
He would just relinquish himself in
Powerful.
general, and just stab himself in the chest and shit.
Yeah.
Love to stab
Which
myself
I
in the
think
chest.
Yusuke would do in a heartbeat. I think he would hit all those beats exactly the
Yeah.
same.
This is true.
Except he might say goodbye to his mom at least.
Yeah, he would always have the common decency.
To go back home for like a second. Remember
Sorry.
Sora's mom?
Sora, it's time for dinner.
Goodbye forever.
Bye forever.
You're dead now.
Old crusty ass bitch.
You know what makes me feel really bad?
Tell me.
This is a tangent I don't want to go off on too much. But so essentially, like, you know, memories of Sora got skewed for people
Mhm.
after Kingdom Hearts 1 or after Chain of Memories going into Kingdom Hearts 2.
Mhm.
This is why Kairi didn't remember Sora until he was reformed and all of his memories were like restored through Namine's magic. Did Sora's mom forget him?
Ooh,
Yes.
Yes.
probably.
It just feels bad because I know the Kairi memory thing was specifically because Namine was very specifically manipulating those memories related to her, but Which is why, like, Riku's still remembered, but...
Do you think anyone on Destiny Island ever remembered who Sora was again? Outside of Kairi.
That's the thing, because I was curious as to why, Riku always remembered who Sora was, but, what's her name? Selfie?
I was gonna say Selfie and Waka and
she also...
are all...
Selfie canonically did not remember Sora anymore.
Yeah.
She also forgot him for whatever reason.
I guess he was still reforming.
I know she came back.
Yeah.
We just never see her again after that. It's insane that they aged up a Final Fantasy character in that game and then never showed up again. They kept just enough continuity that she was there and then left her forever.
Goodbye forever.
More than Sora's mom ever got. Anyways, Kingdom Hearts
even showed up. Anyway, yeah.
If you want to hear us talk about Kingdom Hearts, listen to literally anything we're on.
So true, Bessie. I'm always saying this.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
We can't stop ourselves, and it's a problem. See you in Kingdom Hearts 4, everybody.
That's gonna suck. Have a good night, everyone.
I'm very excited for Kingdom Hearts 4. Yeah.
I'm excited for Kamen Rider.
Me too.
I am too. I'm excited to watch Godai fucking kill this cup of coffee in like the weirdest way possible, because that's just the kind of mutant he is. My man is fucking deficient in all of the right ways.
He's just having a weird one today.
He's just having a weird one today. He's doing weird accents. He's doing puppet jokes with Pops. He's feeling
making
himself.
Curry wrong. He's fucking up the. He's trying to do a window leap without using his limbs. That's my assumption. He tried to inchworm his way once he was up there.
Oh, true.
Just to see if he could, just through sheer abdominal strength.
That's so powerful of him.
He's trying to make. He's got 2,000 skills, and he needs to come up with a new one. And he's really trying stuff out.
Yeah, he's got to get to 2001 before 2001, ideally.
Yeah, he's really working on it.
We believe in you.
I think that's why I wrote "slam that shit."
Oh, for notes. Sure, that has to be.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Because the next one's just about Anakita and how I'm sitcom reacting to her entering rooms now.
Anakita.
Claps, cheers, whistles, and her inability to thumbs up.
I was gonna say she even sucks at thumbs up. I love her so much.
It's so good watching her look at it like, am I doing this right? Yeah.
So, speaking of the thumbs up, I have another conspiracy theory.
Okay.
I am still branching off of my thoughts from I think a few episodes back at this point. I think there is a reason to believe that violence is not going to be the end goal necessarily of Kuuga, because like we've got, I don't know if we have specific confirmation, but in the past couple episodes we were like getting mentions of Linto. Do we have, like, is that just their word for human, basically?
As far as we can tell, yeah.
Yeah, it was like an older culture that they are just sort of projecting onto humankind at this point.
Yeah, and the way I think of it is that, like, they've mentioned that the Linto have gotten stronger, and they've changed, and they're like a bit more violent now, but they also kind of work together to be more powerful. And then we also have mentions of, thumbs ups, and I'm thinking, like, what if this thumbs up is symbolic for the friendship and togetherness that all of the cast has? As such, we'll say that kindness will prevail over combat. And I've noticed that, we'll get to them, but in this sets of episodes, there are a lot of thumbs up, even for Kuuga. And like, it's so good, actually, how they describe pacifism through just the thumbs up, and like have that very quick, easy to understand symbol is just like, I can imagine being like a kid and then just having a hero give a thumbs up, being like, "Yep, everything's good," and to have that kind of tie back into the narrative is just really good. I'm rambling, but
I do have a real weakness for the archetype of the hero that always smiles regardless of the situation in order to help soothe your anxiety during crises.
And like, I think specifically what got me thinking about this was, because we watched Shin Kamen Rider a bit ago, and because of how that is like, oh, this is how it affects like the people who are under the effects of the belt and the transformation, and it seems like Kuuga has the same sort of effects as well, of like it brings out the weapon in you, and I'm looking forward to seeing if that's a staple in more riders going forward, but also the fact that it's bringing out the weapon, but even after every time he like needs to let people know he's okay, he still thumbs up even though he is like in Kuuga form, is kind of like he can overcome this cycle of violence kind of thing. But I have more thoughts on that we will get to later in the episode.
I do want to, since again brought up that there are a lot of thumbs up in this episode, I do want to just make a quick point to touch on a line that's said, like right at the very end of this bit, right before Enokita comes in, when they're talking about the what will for the time being called the Black Kuuga form, and they're talking about Godai's potential ability to turn into it. He hits him with the thumbs up and he's like, it'll be okay. I'll figure it out. I just have to like not get angry again. And Sakuraku makes a point to comment, it's been a while since you last said it'll be okay when you gave a thumbs up. You've been hitting us with the thumbs up a lot, but not saying it'll be okay. To which Godai replies, I think for a while I wasn't sure how it was going to work out, but now it'll be okay. And there's just some real good about that whole little bit, and then the fact that it is then kind of further exemplified throughout the episode with just there being so many more thumbs ups and a lot more Godai saying like, hey, it's gonna be all right.
Throughout the series, and specifically throughout these episodes, we definitely see the idealist part of Godai, and I think that coming out is really interesting to see how it interacts with the narrative on a thematic level, which again we shall get to at later dates.
Yeah. For now, it's time to go to something that's maybe not so okay, which is back on over
Hold up. All
right.
No mention of the deep lore with Professor Hongo?
Oh shit! Yeah.
And his crazy ass
wait. Hold on. That's because that's not yet.
What?
It's not yet.
Is
we
that
go to
right?
Pol first.
Ah, yes.
I ignored Pol.
All right. Well, we can circle back.
I compartmentalize this. It's the same scene because it really just kind of goes back to the university.
It goes immediately back to the.
Yeah.
We just take a brief sojourn to set up a thing with Nana that we're gonna fulfill next episode, which is basically just that Nana comes back early from her audition and reveals that she didn't stay at the audition, and she's real upset, and we're not sure why yet. And then we immediately go back to the university where Enokita's like, it's so nostalgic being back here again. I used to go to this university, but I was in the science program. And she's like, do you remember Professor Hongo? Which, yep, that's right. I called it. My
ears are burning.
Yeah. our boy Takeshi, he's out there. He's teaching college kids in Tokyo about how to be a cyborg.
They say he gets very passionate during his lectures.
They also reference that he has very bushy eyebrows.
Very bushy eyebrows.
And a weird way of speaking.
Imagine getting a science lecture from Hongo. Jesus Christ. I don't know if I'd survive.
It'd be...
I hope I don't survive.
It's one of those things where you say, imagine getting a science lesson from Hongo, and I'm just thinking back to some of the screenshots we used for the episode announcements for Ichigo, and the one of him holding up the Nazi box and smiling and going, "I'm gonna open this."
Hey, check it out.
Yeah.
New things in here.
Hey kids, what do you think's gonna happen when I bust this open?
Yeah, I was gonna say, brings it in class. We're gonna do some shit today.
Yeah. Y'all motherfuckers ready?
Back
Who
when
wants
it
to blow
was-
something up?
Back when it was Hongo's birthday, I was so tempted to be like, "Oh, Shocker got him a present. Let's see," and just use that.
I'm gonna open this. Oh god. God bless you, Hongo. I'm happy to hear that you're still doing good all these years later, and that you've gotten to at least partially retire from murdering people as a cyborg bugman, and you now get to teach college.
He no longer murders people, just students' GPAs.
So true. My man is harsh, and he grades on a steep curve.
The man likes to see blood, but he can only see the red of the F pen.
So true, bestie. I'm always saying.
I like to imagine the, 20-somethings, 30-somethings, let's probably say, at least, who might have been watching Kuuga that day and just going, "Oh!" and pointing at the screen and clapping.
Yeah.
Like...
Showing their younger friend Kamen Rider for the first time. What are you doing?
I hope that gave some, like a very very contemporary audience of the year 2000, and the people who are very much adults who may have seen Takeshi Hongo and his adventures as children.
Mm-hmm.
I really do hope that gave them like such a thrill.
Yeah. Truly, I can only pray that they got as much enjoyment out of it as we did.
I hope
'Cause-
those fans were serviced, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Eating this.
Yeah.
It was just a couple lines, no cameo or anything,
No.
but it is like with the college name plus the name drop, it is more than enough to just sustain me.
I suppose this is spoilers, but I do just want to ask, is there ever in any movies like a crossover with Godai and Hongo?
I think there's
Yeah, surely there
several
must be.
large group ones.
Yeah, I was gonna
there's
say.
gotta be, but do they ever do the like, wait a minute, you were my science teacher?
That much I could not tell you.
That'd be
Especially
so
because
fun.
when you get into some of these later, like sort of end of Heisei, like massive like the superhero movie War Tyson movies, where it's just like, hey, remember every fucking dude that was a primary Kamen Rider for the last, like, since Ichigo? Well, we're bringing each one of these assholes back.
Fair.
Suddenly, there's not all that much time to flesh out the character arcs of these cameos.
Look,
They have their own shows. Go watch them.
It doesn't need to
Yeah.
be fleshed out. I just want to hear Godai point and be like, "Oh hey Hongo, I know you," and he's like, "What?"
Yeah, just like a oh hey, is that Professor Hongo? And then like a thumbs
Oh.
up back
Yeah.
would be all that
Yeah.
would be needed.
What
but
are you doing?
yeah, unfortunately, I can't say for sure if that happens or not.
That would also require production staff to remember this
Yeah.
moment.
That
What are
too.
you doing
Something
here,
done.
Professor? I'm a Kamen Rider. What's a Kamen Rider?
Yo, what?
You're a what?
I'm a Kuuga.
Yeah.
It does
You're a
make me-
what?
It does further make me wonder, like, what the hell? Nobody says Kamen Rider in this show, so I have to believe that this is an AU where Kamen Rider never did, and I guess Shocker by extension probably didn't
Like-
exist, because then they wouldn't have made the Kamen Rider. Because I feel like if Kuuga was running around the world that Takeshi Hongo inhabited
Yeah.
canonically, people would be going, "Oh my god, it's Kamen Rider! I know that guy."
I also feel like there's. Can I give minor
a whole
spoilers for
kids' corner.
V3?
Go for it.
In the first 3 episodes, there is a nuclear detonation. So it's kind of wild to me that these follow the same continuity, and like that nuclear detonation in V3 doesn't matter at all.
It really doesn't. It's hilarious.
And
That's even better.
Yeah.
and they're like, no, actually it's the economy. That's the real That's the real threat. It's like, what are you
Wow.
talking about? You have terrorist
I'm always
organizations that
saying
have like been trying to extinguish the human race for the past 20 decades. Or, like,
This turtle
20
man
years.
literally strapped a nuke to his back and blew it up.
And so, like, maybe that's why the people in Kuuga aren't really that phased. Maybe that's why they just get pamphlets, because it's like, yeah, we're going through this shit again. Let's...
Yeah, another day, another tragedy. I'm fucking over it.
Listen,
I just
kids,
feel
you
like
have
the
it good. Back.
If Kamen Rider was canon, I'm just saying, I feel like the police force would have been at his back instantly.
Oh yeah.
If they saw
Yeah.
Kuuga, they would have been like, I know what that is.
Oh.
The FBI told me.
No, the
Yeah,
FBI
the fucking-
had it
the police
classified,
chief
the
would be
police
like,
never realized.
You're so right.
Oh, true. Yeah,
They
that's
would have
the
brought in
real
an
road.
FBI guy instantly.
Exactly. Yeah, an
Yeah.
FBI
He would've
guy
been
would have
like,
suddenly been
Looks like
assigned
Kamen
to the
Rider to
Metro
me.
Police.
A guy more Japanese than our John Whiteman.
Yeah.
Plus, like, Taki probably lives with Hongo already, so, like... Or Hayato, excuse me.
Maybe both.
Maybe
Yeah.
all three.
Yeah, no,
together.
they're
Could
in
be
a
a polycule.
polyamorous relationship with each other, and
I don't
And
think
I-
Hongo would include himself, frankly. I think
Well-
he would chase violence more than anybody.
Me,
Most
my
cer-
boyfriend, and his
most
roommate.
certainly. But you know, they invite him, and they count it as a polycule, and
I'm
And
very sorry
that's-
for them.
yeah, he's taken above
Yeah.
the offer once and didn't really go anywhere. But the point is,
I think that's
sounds like him.
generous.
yeah, I mean, he was feeling he was feeling generous that day, but
Yeah.
the point is that because the Garangi are dying in normal ways, like exploding, and not being ripped in half and like having their limbs being used to like spear
Mhm.
them, Hongo is not the same Hongo in this world.
Yeah.
I mean, his guys exploded too.
Some of them, yeah. This is true.
Yeah, but I think
They all exploded one way or another, or melted.
Hongo, I think, would have refined his craft so they don't explode anymore.
Mm. I don't know if he can prevent that.
If Hongo was Kuuga, he would have simply let the Drongi not die in
I think
explosions.
the force of everything he does just makes things explode.
Yeah.
I don't think he can control it. It's
That's
just
the
his
sheer
power.
force of personality he has.
Explosion man.
Every time he finishes a lecture, it blows up. It sucks to try and take notes in his class.
Oh damn it! The chalkboard's just blowing up every single time.
It blows up. There's remains of like ashes. Just spell out Jikai.
Alright, tomorrow class we're gonna have a test. Oh
Test.
Goodness gracious.
Anyways, Sky Sharks.
yeah, Sky Sharks.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so we get a call from the police force that a bunch of people got murdered on a plane, and then our girl Jenny VTuber, completely off of the shits, murders 243 people at once with one spear in a plane, leaves a note for the police to the captain, and then jumps out of the plane into the water. My girl is going nuts.
That sounds really
absolutely bonkers
cool. I
with
wish
it.
we saw any of it.
Yeah. Listen, they didn't have time to film all that shit.
No, not what's or a plane.
Yeah, they had neither the
or
time nor the plane.
or a set that looks like a plane. They couldn't even Ed Wood it. We couldn't even build a little cardboard cockpit set.
Listen, you work with what you got.
No, I fully understand. Like, first of all, building a set is not a cheap option either, and second of all, like hell are those motherfuckers getting filming on a plane? That's also not cheap,
Yeah, no.
unless someone has a plane for you.
Two very difficult prospects indeed.
And they have $2 and a couple of sandwiches to their
Mhm.
name, and the sandwiches are going to the CG guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's working late again.
Again, yeah.
Aw.
We thank you for your service.
If you crunch, you get an
Another
additional
CG
sandwich.
henshin.
So yeah, we get to everybody springing into action. We get another fun Godai and Ichijo mid-road gun swap. Although they did not do it while moving this time, which was a little sad, but, maybe they realized that stunt was a little danger ops the first time.
Well, someone's gotta move.
Yeah.
At least one party was moving.
Yeah, at the very least. So Kuuga heads over to a dock nearby Tokyo Bay where our Grongi was last seen, and as he is attempting to scope out the area for any signs of our monster of the week, he gets what I, in my notes, described as white boy jump scared.
He's being stalked by a Backstreet Boy.
True. Backstreet is in fact back. All right.
Backstreet's. I have a feeling Backstreet's back, and then a spear goes through.
Yeah. So yeah, leading us into the beginning of our next episode, Control, episode 41. Yeah. We're over at the bay. We get white boy jump scared a few more times. We turn green. And then we get speared as hard as possible. We get fucking yeeted off of the dock, like, into a scaffolding. My man gets his shit rocked, and we did it with practical effects, and it rules.
It was cool as hell.
It was so horrific.
Yeah.
It ruled, but oh my god.
Yeah, like, they were selling that shit hard. Like, he had to rip a whole spear out of his own shoulder.
Yeah.
Yelling in agony.
Yeah, yelling in agony the whole time.
Dripping.
Once again,
he turns back
show.
white.
Yeah, instantly hits Mario shrinking sound effects.
Mhm.
You are not using that fire flower, kid. You gotta go.
Yeah, my man gets his shit absolutely rocked. But luckily Ichijo is on the scene quickly enough to, cover for our boy and get him healed up. So we have ourselves a little post spearing conversation over on the bay. As I'm sure Ichijo and Godai have done many times.
There we go. Thank you. I was gonna do it. I was too busy laughing.
Yeah, no, I saw you were looking for it. Not the first time, won't be the last.
Thank you for putting up with us, B. We appreciate you.
So
I noticed that you've officially shifted your allegiance to the other side.
Look,
People
I've been doing a lot
remember
of soul searching, and I feel it's best if I don't censor myself, and apparently other people do too.
I'm proud of you. I think it is better this way as well.
Hopefully you will join us too.
Yeah.
Should you want to.
I believe in your strength and your power.
Well, I will consider my options. But for now, we were having a conversation about what happens and what we're going to need to do to deal with our ULF number 44. We read off the or we get the specifics of how this Grongi murdered all of the people, and we finally get the note that she passed on to the police, which is, here's your hint: 567 people in 5 hours. It'll be easy unless you do something. Which, like, damn, this is the first one in a while who's just, like, is actively taunting the police. Gotta respect that hustle. I love that she was like, I want to make it easy, but I don't want to make it too easy, so I am going to do just a little bit of trolling.
She really didn't make it that hard, all told. It was I feel like it was a pretty because she left the hint. Like, if you bother to look, you can find the old blog post, so you can do math. Not to I have this written down because they figure this out later, but it's literally just a thing of just like she's just adding on top of the amount she already had, so you just have to figure out how many people can fit on a thing that fits the little hint. But I just wrote down in my notes, oh shit, I never learned to add. Because that's what it feels like at a certain point as they're working this out, and I understand it truly is a show for kids that we might need to spell it out a little more.
At least a little bit for some of the other cops. Don't forget, we got math genius Ichijo on the scene. He fucking solves that shit quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah. It's them working out the easiest Skrongi puzzle in the world.
Yeah.
Is very funny.
Listen, like she said, she's keeping it simple. She doesn't want to waste too much energy.
I think she could have added one more wrinkle. Because she really wanted to make it to the final. She was trying not to expend energy so she could be in the finals. But like, girl, I think you could have like not kept as much of a log or something, or had a more esoteric puzzle. I don't know, just like something that doesn't require like super strength. I'm just saying.
Maybe blog posting your future murder is not the smartest idea.
You know, try to figure out like something that describes 3 locations. I don't know.
Do better. We think you could have done better, Jenny VTuber, and we're honestly a little disappointed.
Like you got a fascinating thing going with your one-shot 243 kills.
Yeah. This magical super spear fucking Galebog that can murder 253 people in one yeet. Like, that's good. That's a good gimmick. We can work with that, but we do need just a little more. We gotta sprinkle a little spice on there, you know?
You know, this is really where the Jenny VTuber comparisons fall apart completely.
Yes.
Because if just from her social media posts, you can tell that she would be the one who'd be like, hey, you can't do this, because someone else tried to pass it off as acceptable work.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have faith in the real Jenny VTuber.
Yeah.
I think she could murder good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know for a fact that the real Jenny VTuber would be a much better mass murderer.
For a fact?
For a fact.
Legally speaking, no.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Sorry we're incriminating
Disclaimer.
you on this podcast.
Police?
We hear you.
Get this woman.
No.
Get her ass. Lest she kill again. Speaking of killing, we get to go back to Pole, where it's time to be sad.
Hey, Pops, you ever kill a man? I mean, wanna?
Yeah. So we had a conversation in the last episode, where Nana asked, you know, old Pops, like, hey, have you ever wanted to kill someone? And he was like, huh? What are you talking about? What?
Steve Harvey voice, huh?
Huh? This is a weird question to just ask out of nowhere.
Have you ever
I do
been
kind of
filled
like
with murderous intent, Pops?
Yeah.
Answer
That
the
is
question.
Answer the question. Well, and I do like, because initially he's like, you know, calling someone annoying or saying that you hate someone or wanting that you want to kill someone. You know, people nowadays are willing to just say some really fucked up shit at the drop of a hat.
He's
And
not wrong.
He isn't. He's
and it's
100%
only gonna
not
get
wrong.
worse.
And I was like, oh, what? So,
Pops, you don't know. Yeah, you have no
Pops,
idea
you
the
have no
coming
fucking idea.
decades.
Yeah.
People are gonna say some real fucked up shit without thinking about it.
My man, you are not going to survive Xbox Live.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's only a couple years in your future.
Yeah.
You don't even
I'd
have
love to see that one.
MySpace yet, dude. You haven't heard. You haven't even seen the beginning of this.
You don't? No, you are not aware. But yeah, he mentions that, which again, he's 100% fair in his statement. And Nana's like, well, oh, what? So you've never wanted to kill someone, Pops? And he's like, well, I mean, yeah, I have. I didn't do it, obviously. And then he goes and answers
looks
the
around.
phone. Yeah, head on a swivel. But I do appreciate kind of just this whole conversation of, you know, him being able to be objective about like people's ability to kind of just like say terrible things, but also the fact that he's like, hey, I'm just as human as you and everybody else. You know, obviously I've had those feelings too, and you know I didn't act on them, but you know it's normal for you as a person to feel that way. And then this conversation gets interrupted by a phone call by Godai, which is hopefully important for better things to come in the future, as Nana heads out because she cannot bear the thought of Godai learning that she's human.
Can I do just want to interject real quick, if I may.
Please.
Actually, like, as silly as this scene kind of seems initially, it's actually kind of really nice because I'm like, I'm thinking as a kid show, these kids are definitely getting to the age of, like, they're gonna start having stronger emotions and, like, they're gonna be more visceral, and then it's kind of reassuring to just have someone be like, yeah, you're not evil for that, that's fine. You just need to be, responsible with how you act for having them. And I'm like, you know what? Thank you, Pops. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Like, maybe this is just someone who has moral OCD talking, but I really appreciated it.
It is good stuff for sure. Speaking of good stuff for sure, we hop on over to another Grongi meeting in a weird ass bar.
In the most fucked up artsy cafe I've ever seen.
In the most fucked up. Okay, I had a note about this, and I'm curious if anyone else noticed this. Did anyone else make note of the like mural that we get some shots of on the floor?
Yes.
No.
I forget.
Chicks?
I didn't make a note of it. I'm sure I noticed it at the time.
The one note that I specifically wrote, because it was the thing I saw that made me think of it, I said, where's this bar with the Leather Daddy Sistine Chapel painting on the floor? I want to party there.
Wow.
Wowie.
We see that it's like we get just a glimpse of it as Jenny VTuber is walking across, but it's just like this painting of, like, I guess there's supposed to be angels in the sky, and there's like tigers and shit, and there's a dude in the harness and the cap, like he's in the fucking YMCA.
Yeah, this is such like a classical style. There's like a tiger in there, and then yes, there's unmistakably a leather daddy right there.
Like, I don't know
the rest of it. He's like the only break in the pattern at this point.
Oh, sure, yeah. Don't know where this bar is. Have to party there.
This place is fucked up and evil. They found a great location. This should be their hideout forever.
Bar. It really should. It should have been their Grongi hideout from day one.
Because this place is gnarly and has, like, awful video screens with, like, people's mouths saying horrible shit. Like, extreme exposure to the sun, which is kind of surprising. I would have thought that a place like this would not have a huge skylight.
No windows, yeah.
But sure, whatever. But God, that place gives me the willies. I would never actually want to step in.
I'm not gonna lie. I am kind of surprised to hear this take from you, of all people. I figured you would be super down to party down at this place.
If it's still like that, I would just be perturbed. The floor is the best part. Like, the floor is great. Sure. Don't get me wrong. It's the rest of it that's just like looks like the like leftovers of a Disney attraction.
That's the thing. Like, the rest of it is so insanely whack, especially when juxtaposed to the floor, that like that's what fuels it. I'm like, what the fuck is this place? Like, what's going on here? Who made these choices?
I'd probably not like it after like 2 minutes, but I would go if someone was like, "Oh shit, there it is. Let's go check it out."
No, I would go there and I would get
like
wasted, and then I would puke when I see someone's fucking mouth. Like, I'd turn a corner and a video screen of someone's mouth would like say the time and date of when I was gonna die, and I would throw up. And then when I was finally sober, I'd realize that it was just a random string of numbers.
Or was it?
Yeah,
I guess I'm a weirdo because I'm like, this is kind of just a vibe. I like it. It looks comfy.
Not surprising in the slightest.
Comfy.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, this
This
is
is
very
the-
in
this-
character.
All right.
This is the most unsurprising development I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Look, it's just.
I
like-
don't. Okay,
Yeah.
you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna be like, hey, the mouths on the TV is just like, yeah, all right, that's cool. Yeah, that's a vibe.
I truly wonder where this place is and if it exists, because I
I'm so
have to know
curious.
if this thing survived past the 2000s, because it is one of the most 2000s things I
This
have
is-
ever seen. This location is the 2000s.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this looks like so many places from so many, like, 2000s movies. Like, this looks like the fucking bad guy's mansion at the end of Mystery Men. It looks like fucking Flugel's mansion from Spy Kids.
Floop, but yeah.
Oh my god.
It does.
yeah.
It is very Floop. It is very Casanova Frankenstein. Like,
Yeah, Casanova Frankenstein, yes.
God, you're so right.
Like, so
That's-
incredibly that,
maybe
like,
that's
very
why, I
specific
don't know,
2000s aesthetic.
I find the almost Tim Burton.
Yes.
the not Tim Burton, but we clearly took some notes.
Mhm.
Maybe that's just what I was in the thick of those movies, especially as a kid. Maybe I just have
Oh,
this
yeah.
subconscious aversion. It's like, no, that's evil. This is evil.
Yeah.
There's evil people in there, clearly.
Yeah, this is where evil lives. I know, movies told me.
It's
Which,
look,
I mean,
if you
to be
didn't if
fair-
it didn't have the screens with all the fucked up mouths talking,
That's like
I don't
the
even
most
remember-
2000s part.
if it didn't have that, I would maybe feel a little less averse, but they really slipped in that sensory hell
Yeah,
amidst the rest of this nonsense.
they really were like, let's add another layer. Let's make it worse. And bravo to them for that.
I was gonna say I don't remember why my next note after that was just teehee women. But it's probably because the next scene is Sakurako and Anakita, so
Yeah.
Yep. Because tee women.
oh yeah, they have their little they really do be teeheeing at the end of
Yeah.
this conversation. They just kind of have a moment of just haha,
Yeah, they're
without
talking
saying much
about-
else.
They're talking about how ULF-0 is, that he's Dagova, and that maybe Godai is going to become as strong as him, and then maybe that'll make him fucked up and evil. But Sakurako's like, no, it'll be okay, because Godai said it would be okay. And then they're like, oh, Teehee, he's a weirdo, isn't he? Teehee, they literally, yeah, they laugh for 5 straight seconds or something.
It's long enough where it's
long
like,
enough.
huh, okay, we're still going.
It's one of those things that I found kind of awkward in the most relatable way, in the sense that I try very much never to do this anymore, but there was a time where I know I've laughed to fill silences when I didn't know what to say.
That's
Yeah.
that's
Not
incredibly
good.
fair.
What do I do when I feel silent? I think I just feel awkward when I feel silence.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta sit there in the silence and be awkward with it. Twiddle those thumbs just a little bit.
I've never been awkward in my life.
Powerful. We get the briefest of scenes of Godai riding a motorcycle. We see Nana is at a park, and then we go back to the police station where it's time to do some math. We got to figure out where this woman is going and how is she going to murder how many people. Luckily, we've got Jane Brenius Ichijo on the scene. He's the best at math in the whole police. No one has ever mathed as good at him as him is one to do.
Yeah.
Luckily, we were able to successfully pull her blog post off of the internet. We got a printout of it.
I printed it on my computer.
Yeah. So we know that she's going for another 324 people on, quote, the sun that floats on the seas. So we're like, all right, we know our number of people. We have a vague idea as to where it's going to be, because they actually figure that shit out decently quick. We get another shot of the Hunter x Hunter group as we are scoping out Jenny's next attack target. We go back to the dealer, who is finally visited by what I think it's pretty safe to assume, based off of what we've seen so far, is the human form of Daguva, aka our Backstreet Boy who jump scared Godai in the last episode, and at the beginning of this one.
I suspected, but nothing is said so yet.
Yeah, and it has not been said outright yet, but I think it's safe enough for assumptions to be made that I'm at least willing to say it here.
Sorry if this is a surprise to you, viewers, listeners.
Yeah, apologies.
Listen, viewers.
If this does
listen.
Viewers, listen.
Or don't, if you don't want to.
Yeah, you're not required to.
The Backstreet Boy.
The Backstreet Boy, it turns out him evil.
Hey, what am I gonna do you for, Backstreet Boy? Alright, thanks, see ya.
So yeah, he goes to pick up his cool new belt buckle from his dealer. And
I heard a guy has one just like mine. Ooh, yeah.
I thought you said this was one of a kind. Right. So
No. His doesn't have the 2 marks. It's a knockoff.
Yeah. Yeah, his ain't Gucci, his is Wucci.
But yeah, Yusuke can't transform for 2 hours, so it's time for a heart-to-heart.
Yeah, it's time for a heart-to-heart with Nana, because he encounters her at a park that he knows that she used to go to with her teacher to train before, the big murder, before he was one to be killed. And then we get to the crux of why Nana had her big crisis over at the audition. All I can really say about this whole thing is kind of summed up in my notes, which was just, hey, whatever this audition was, that's fucked up. And hey, other girl, that's fucked up.
How could you say such a thing?
How could you say something like that? So
I
insane.
was horrified.
Yeah, truly, absolutely batshit insane, like fucking internet dweller behavior. To roll back to what we were talking about with Pops. You don't know how bad it's gonna get, my man. Truly some fucking random Twitter poster shit. Nana, talks about how she used to go to this park with her teacher, and how much she enjoyed working with him before he got killed by ULF, and so she was like, I really wanted to do good on this audition. I wanted to honor him and all of the time he spent to work with me. But when I was at the audition, the last scene they wanted us to work was a scene where we had to react as if a loved one of ours had been killed by an unidentified life form. And then one of the girls who was at the audition looked at her, and she was like, well, you should be thankful that your teacher got killed by an unidentified life form, so you've got experience to draw off of. Which, what the fuck?
Look, some people are real fucking stupid.
Some people are real fucking stupid.
I fully understand how there's not malice in that statement. They stuck that foot and just in the mouth and just kept going all the way down their own throat.
They sure did. I feel like I am not doing their stupidity enough justice. Let me provide the exact quote that this other girl said to Nana. She said, I guess him being killed by the unidentified life forms came in handy. What?
That's
the fuck?
Yeah, that's absolutely fucked up to say.
I mean...
But realistically fucked up to say. Like, I can see someone not thinking about their own fucking work. I can see someone kind of being desensitized to it. And also, it probably, was separated from the situation, not as close to the teacher, like...
Maybe didn't even know that guy.
Different period of mourning. Yeah, people handle that, but man, yeah, really, really could have thought about that one for 5 more seconds, girl.
Yeah,
I think Yusuke's reaction to the situation being like, "Hey, violence sucks, but if you slap the taste out of her mouth, I got your back." like I think that's exactly my response too. It's like, yeah, maybe you don't have to, and it's probably a better course of action not to. But if you did it, I would 100% support you. Some people gotta get smacked in the mouth.
Yeah, which, this actually is the next scene that is me thinking about the themes of Kuuga, and how this scene I think is indicative of Kuuga's themes as a whole. Also within this scene is Nana being like, "Godai, you're too damn optimistic and idealistic. I hate it sometimes."
And Godai's like, "True."
And you're like, yeah, and he's like, yeah,
probably.
Yeah, no, you're right. And it's just like the fact that he goes like, it's not good to do this violence, but also sometimes it is kind of justified even if it's bad. Within that same scene that he's being called out for his idealistic nature. And also, I believe the next episode is also called Reality. So like,
Battlefield.
oh, is it Battlefield?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, heck.
Yeah.
Which one is called Reality?
43.
43, okay.
So the one after our last episode.
My apologies.
Yeah.
The fact that in this general set of episodes and arc, that is, we are still seeming to get the brunt of a mixture between Godai and his idealism versus the cruel reality of the situation and what actually needs to be done, I think is going to be pretty interesting. And the show has been proven time and time again that it actually is able to handle pretty, like, dense topics with a decent amount of care. And so I'm really excited to see if this actually does go anywhere.
Yeah, no, I do like everything about this scene, especially from Godai's perspective. I think especially one of the things I like is, Nana talks about, like, after she said that, I just couldn't think, and I got so angry, and I just wanted to hit that girl, and Godai's response is, you probably should have hit her then. Probably should have just fucking punched her right in the face, and, like, the fact that you felt that way just kind of goes to prove that you're human, and that you can feel strongly about things, and that you can have things that are so important to you that you want to defend them, but also at the same time, I know anytime I have to hit something, I fucking hate it. So, I applaud you for not doing it, and I know that there can be another way to solve this issue, peacefully without violence. But like Shake said, if you want to go slap the taste out of her mouth, I support you 100%. I especially like the line that he says at the very end of it, which is also highlighted in the G-Kai from the previous episode, where he says, if there was no way to, I don't remember the exact quote, but it's something to the effect of, if there was no way to get through to people besides violence, wouldn't that just be too sad? Yeah, it is a perfect little, just like kind of one sentence encapsulation of like Godai and his ideals, and thus, like, as a juxtaposition, the struggles of him having to be Kuuga and having to fight the Garangi. The notion that he is someone who would rather try and find a peaceful option first, who has, for all intents and purposes, been forced into this position where he is on damn near a daily to a weekly basis or something, having to contend against these people with which he cannot, he can't interact with them the way he would want to, and so he has no recourse other than violence, which he doesn't like it, he doesn't want to do it, but it's literally all he's got. I think it's just like a very, very interesting fun kind of little look into Godai, and a nice way to kind of sort of reflect on his journey. I think it's also super telling that I guess it is super telling that what he said previously in the episode and in the previous episode is kind of true, in that there's not like a lot of worry about him, changing and becoming this horrible, this harbinger of darkness, as it is so called in the show, because even through everything that has happened, 41 episodes of these grungy attacks, 44 different unidentified life forms, I guess 42 if you don't count ULF-1 or ULF-2 and ULF-4, and he still has this optimism and this kindness in his heart, is truly a testament to the strength of his character, that he can go through all of this and come out as still kind of the same Godai he went in as.
I think also, as I'm going to try and roll this forward, this carries in to further scenes. We've I guess I don't know if you want to cover. We figure out the funny riddle. There's a big ferry with a bunch of people on it that the shark is going to go get. So we got to get on that boat.
Yeah.
But so to these themes of this Nana scene, we get a fun. I guess it's almost like a callback, especially because we mentioned it, to the fight where we teased the black transformation.
Yeah.
Because during that really vicious and brutal fight, it was juxtaposed with the, the unity that is, more or less what he inspired. He's inspired a lot of peaceful conflict resolution in other people. And we got another one of those again, and it was like a very like dramatic musicalist duel with this shark, just paralleled to, people not having to succumb to the things that Godai does, the things that Godai has to shoulder. As Nana confronts her classmate over the damn thing and Arthur fists and everything, but she holds back.
And I forget if she gave the thumbs up to Godai or her classmate, but she does give that thumbs up too, which I
think
really
appreciate.
I believe she gives a thumbs up to Godai after he comes back.
Yeah. After they get into this whole thing and explode in a big nuclear water explosion.
Yeah, and murder a bunch of fish.
insanely big explosion stock footage they got for that one. Like, speaking of V3 and the nukes, like, I was like, God damn, that shark was full of juice. Also, they threw dummies off a boat, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, love to throw dummies off of a boat.
But yeah, and then we get it back, and hey, you slapped the bitch? No, all right, that's cool.
Good job, I'm proud of you.
Good job, I'm proud of you. I had to go nuke a shark.
That's how my day went. I do want to just Chicks well and truly got pretty much all there is left of this episode, but I did want to cycle back just to like the very beginning. Because there's one shot in particular that I wanted to highlight that I really liked that Shakes mentions about the Arthur fist. Because, we see Nana and she pulls aside her, quite publicly and quite violently, really pulls aside this other girl that she is talking about. And you see her, and you see her, and she's breathing heavy, and she's got a lot of anger on her face, and you can see the gears are turning in her brain, and she's trying to decide what to do. And you see her clench that fist, and then it immediately jumps to Godai clenching the same fist in suit.
Yeah.
Just a dope ass shot. It was just a damn good shot.
Which again, that's they did that with the kid and how Godai was talking to them about being like, hey, maybe unity. So it's good. I really like it.
Poetry and rhymes.
It's simple enough, but it make my brain happy. I like it.
And that's really just a great way to sum up Kuuga as a show. It's simple enough, but it breaks my brain happy. I like it. Also, I'm glad I was reminded about this because I don't think I had any notes about it in my notes. But after all is said and done, we get one last final little scene at the very end, which is, I think our dealer got murdered. There's all we see is like a corpse on the floor, and there's definitely someone's removed hand in the foreground with a tattoo on it, like one of the Grongi tattoos. So I think our dealer's dead. And Daga was there.
Streets back.
Yeah, and he puts on his belt buckle, and we watch his mummy ass walk out and turn into Backstreet. And then we Jikai. So yes, if you ever wondered, if you ever thought, if you were ever curious, yes, that's right. You better fucking believe it. Backstreet is in fact back. All right. And
all right.
What will that mean for the rest of the series? We don't know because we got to go to episode 42.
Yeah, we got a few more left, so we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we got some time. So we hop on over to episode 42, Battlefield. We're in December now. Happy soon to be Crimbus, everybody. Hope you enjoy. This is a note I had from later on in this episode, but I'm just going to bring it up now because this is a lot of kind of what this episode is about that I really appreciated. A lot of this episode, or at least like this first half of the episode, basically plays out like the back half of a different episode.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, we really go quick on this one. The in media does not get more res.
No, for sure. We start off with it already popping off, which I like that. I like that they were like, hey, we've got other stuff we want to focus on for this episode, so we're basically gonna just start this as the end of some other episode. I really liked the way they did that. It was a neat little thing. So we get it popping with a dude who has been trapping people underground and murdering them. That's Liu Kang's style. That's how he likes to do
apparently.
it.
We don't really get much further details because we're now going to fight him and kill him in the first half of this episode. Spoilers. He's like a satyr.
Yeah,
he's like a weird goat man.
I mentally had him as like a minotaur, but he is probably a little more satyr-like in hindsight.
He's got the mutton chops, like, you know, the bushy little beard that you'd think of a classical satyr.
Yeah, no, that's very fair. He is some sort of hooved man beast.
Those are definitely not cow horns, I'll tell you that much.
That's fair. Yeah, maybe not a tar of the Minos variety. He's probably more like a satyr than anything.
And he's got the little pointy ears. Yeah, he's a satyr. I don't know.
He's a cloven beast.
He's a cloven beast, to be sure, with a funny meat hammer.
They weren't lying. That beast can cloven. And that hammer can meat. Holy shit!
He tenderizes him.
Bro, my man fucks Godai up.
It's kind of scary.
It is
honestly.
I actually had to note about we haven't watched Godai get sauced like this in a while.
Like the saucing is only getting
saucier,
more brutal. Like he's not just losing a fight and then the enemy runs off or anything. Like last episode, he gets impaled with a spear and pinned, and he has to tear it out of his shoulder and it bleeds. And here he's getting punched with spikes, and you see blood spatter.
Yeah,
and he gets beat with he's got this hammer that's got kind of like the spikes of, say, like a meat tenderizer on it. When he hits Godai with it, it leaves imprints on him.
It's so cool. It's such good battle damage.
It's not just imprints on him either. It's imprints on his purple form at that. Like,
yeah, right?
Jesus Christ.
It would just blow him apart if he was in any other form.
Absolutely dense as shit. Liu Kang absolutely living up to the name with the brutality.
When Yusuke's just lying there on the ground screaming in agony, trying to defend himself as he just repeatedly keeps getting hit. It's horrible.
I have two wretched notes.
Go for your wretched notes
for this fight. One, when he gets hit with the hammer, it kind of sounds like when you hit the pole with a tetherball.
That's true.
The Foley felt so specifically that to me. And I hope other people can relate. I doubt it. It's people. I don't know if people's brains are still stuck on tetherball after all these years.
I remember
tetherball.
That was a real way to test your mettle as a child. Test your nerves. I think I failed those tests. That was where boys went to become men. That was where you learned to play chicken, more or less, with your own fate. Like,
because kids don't know how to take it easy and just hit the ball. Everyone's out for blood.
Yeah. You gotta not be scared of that ball if you want to do anything in that game.
Yeah, tetherball is absolutely more so even than dodgeball and kickball. Tetherball is a game of kill or be killed.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure.
Because you lose if you dodge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll just keep going and then you're fucked. My second wretched note, much more wretched, is was just a simple question. Is this Riona? Because boy, we get the languishing shots of him getting beaten with this meat tenderizer.
Yeah.
And his selling.
Truly.
And maybe my brain is slightly tainted by that one video I hunted down. Which conceptually was the same thing, but for like an hour.
You know, you are so right. Somewhere out there is a Dojin. That ends this episode a little differently.
I'm so that fucking video is still so funny. I think the way that one scene ends, where they just do the big wrestling bump, smash a box on your head. Yeah, it's still one of the funniest things I've seen.
It's so fucking good.
I think it gets a little less funny after that, but it's just of all the moments in it. Anyways, we don't have to contemplate that one for too long.
No,
because this fight is not the focus of the episode.
Right. There was one more note about the fight though that I did want to mention, just because it was something that I realized I didn't really take stock of at the time, and I guess in hindsight maybe it wasn't that much of a thing, but like one of the really like most telltale signs of like, hey, Godai is getting his shit fucking sauced is, like, he shows up on the scene to fight this dude with, like, Sugita and Sakayama and, like, a bunch of the cops and stuff, and he actively tries to rider kick this guy, like, within 15 to 20 feet of them.
He tries another one.
Yeah, he doesn't turn gold. Yeah, he doesn't turn gold, so it doesn't work. But like,
it's different then. It's the golden rider kick that's really the collateral damage.
It's true, but there was just something about like there's usually so much more. Godai has never been one to kind of just throw out at least the kick specifically willy nilly. I still maintain that in the other forms the finishers will just kind of come out accidentally, but the kick is usually done with intention. And so the fact that he stanced up and everything, he did the pose, he was like, I'm rider kicking you for everything you're worth. Like,
yeah,
you know, regardless of the fact that Sugita and them were right there, it was just like, damn, that is a desperation wake up level 3 if ever I've seen one. That is, I'm going to slap the buttons and pray you were trying to Oki me, so that you get caught in this and maybe I get to take my turn.
And he no-sells it too. Like I know it's just level 1 rider kick too. Like it's not he's not gold. It's not a nuke. But man, he doesn't even like get really staggered about it. He just kind of goes, nah.
Worse than no-selling it, he takes that shit, no-sells it, and then turns stronger.
Yeah, he just eats it. Eats it for breakfast. It's like vitamins to him.
Yeah.
Here's some more spikes, moron.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna beat you with a hammer.
Yeah. Thank you for giving me access to hammer power. Luckily, Godai gets to stop being hammered by this goat man ever so briefly, because Ichijo shows up on the scene with his ridiculously large high power rifle.
He's got the insane gun.
Yeah.
It's got tripods on it. He needs to be using those more if he's going to post up on the bridge like that.
Yeah. He hits our goat man with a shot that stuns him, just straight up stuns him. Which gives Godai a chance to fight back. He's able to get on the bike and, drive that guy to the quarry outside on the edge of town and blow him up in a fucking pillar of flame like Urian's wind pose in Third Strike. That shit was wild.
God.
And
the old standby strategy of truck fucking him into the wilderness and then nuking him. Oh no, he transforms his bike.
Yeah.
I forgot. I actually wrote this down. He's got new powerful horses.
Bike 2.
Yeah, and he has a name for this strategy, which I loved so much I had to write it down.
Oh, please remind me.
Yeah.
The Gold Godam Beat Chaser combo.
Yes.
Ramming attack.
Yes.
Yeah, the Gold Godam Beat Chaser combo ramming attack.
To which Ichijo says, "Isn't that a bit of a mouthful?"
Don't worry about it.
So as we start pulling just a little thing of note, as we start trying to take our goat man out of town, Ichijo goes to pursue because he's not going to let his boyfriend potentially brawl up in a quarry at the edge of nowhere without him. Ichijo, of all people, gets Backstreet Boys' white boy jump scared just for a second. He's like, "Hey, wait a minute, what was that?" I don't know. And then he gets in the car and he leaves. But apparently, you are not immune to white boy jump scare. It can happen to anybody.
Yeah, Ichijo is only human. We must remember this.
This is so true, and it sounded so much like you just called him Nichijo.
Nichijo is my ordinary boyfriend.
He is so ordinary. Is the thing.
Is it gay to save your boyfriend with a sniper rifle, and you're both men and you're dating? Is it gay?
Yeah, like I don't think you've named anything, any part of that as something straight.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
really.
Just making sure.
Also, I feel like we have to say, Kuuga wins. Fatal.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. Burned that dude up. He got the fucking stage fatal on his ass.
For real, like
threw him in the fucking acid pit. Yeah.
That pillar of flame truly would you could slap any fighting game ending graphic on you. The KO on it, that shit.
Fucking Guilty Gear destroyed
yeah, I was gonna
screen.
Say, yeah, destroy. That would, God, I love Guilty Gear Destroyed. That's an all-timer.
Absolute all-timers, the Destroyed. A special shout out to fucking Slayer in Exard and the Double X games, where his Destroyed move is he punches you and then does a haiku, and you fucking die. God bless that man. What a hero. Speaking of heroes, we get a brief little cut while Ichijo heads out to meet up with his boyfriend, where we go to a train platform and we see Mika. Yay! Hey, Mika's all right, and she's heading back into town, and she's reading an article that maybe she shouldn't be reading while she's by herself waiting for a train.
I love this. The upcoming bits with Mika are really remind me of that the thing from the Persona 4 comic where it's just Yukio Imagi is working at the inn that her parents run. Oh man, you were late today. Why are you late? I was working at the inn that my parents run. Or she's wearing a kimono because she's working at the inn her parents run. Yeah, like it felt like that. It was really like Mika is on the train heading to the flute recital. Okay.
All right, cool.
We're going to say it 3 more times later just so you understand by the end of this episode what might be happening.
Please pay attention. We will come back later to ask you if you were paying attention.
Also,
Speaking of paying attention, oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say my next note for after the fight was,
Mhm.
damn, what are we gonna do through the rest of the episode? Oh, hey, why not dissect Batman? What a loser.
Yeah! We're gonna cut this bitch right open. We're gonna see what makes him tick. We're gonna see why he was such a bitch. Is it genetic? Signs point to yes.
God. No, apparently he had a really bad tummy ache, and we found out why.
Yeah,
real brave
because he
about
put a rock in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
What?
that'll do it.
This is
That'll
a
do it,
PSA.
yeah.
Please don't eat
Rock of
rocks you can't
transgender.
digest.
Please don't eat rocks.
Please don't. What do you mean can't? Don't eat rocks.
Salt.
Period.
but what if I gotta address my
It's a
plant
mineral.
matter?
What if you want to
Because I'm not
Exclamation
chewing
point.
it.
Sand. Don't eat sand. Don't eat rocks. Don't eat dirt. Don't eat concrete.
Don't eat
Please don't.
Don't eat.
Okay, well, don't eat paint again.
Yeah. Don't eat
Well, I
paint.
guess
and
we gotta
stop
add
licking
don't
your
eat
Switch
sand
cartridges.
again, I guess.
What do you?
I mean, it's not like
but
that discussion
who's
spawned
eating
from
sand
nothing.
on purpose? Who's eating sand on purpose? I really want to know because I ate paint on purpose.
True. But I don't
Yeah,
think that's
he's an
helping your
adult.
case here.
I guess I don't know. I don't know if it was with intent, but it was very much like, well, I'm not brushing all of this off. I'm not picking every piece of sand off. Like I've gotten it on food before, and this conversation spawned because I said I've gotten sand on my food before, and it was like, nice crunch.
Mm.
That's the problem with it though. You're like your nice crunch as and it's a
It's
benefit.
not like a ton of sand. It's not like
It's enough that you
it's-
can feel it, and
It
that's
wasn't
too
a
much.
ton of
It's
paint
a
either.
dusting of it. Oh, okay
It's a
then.
dusting.
We're all okay.
Cinnamon.
We're all.
Damn.
Sand
Damn.
toast crunch.
Can you see why
Can you
kids love
see
the
why
taste of
Shakes
Santos
loves
Crunch?
the taste of Santa's crunch?
Because it's shaped like a wrestling ring.
Okay, yeah, no, I can buy that.
Yeah, right. Trying to channel a 90s commercial. Hold on. Like, totally not.
No
It's 'cause
way.
Because
Yeah.
there's cinnamon sand chunks in every bite. Cinnamon sand crunch, the taste you can see.
I guess you need to establish a character for the guy who's guessing, so you can
Yeah.
deny them in a themed way, right? It's like, like a professor going like, "Oh, it's the molecules," it's the taste molecules.
It
It's
looks like the
get,
periodic table.
get real, Einstein.
Gunshots,
Jesus
explosion
Christ.
noise.
Oh
airborne.
shit!
Oh,
Oh, I'm the host of the best podcast on the fucking planet.
And then
Holy shit! Oh fuck! I don't even
he's
remember
looking
where
under
we
a
were.
microscope.
We cut open Batman
Yeah.
and found out he had a bad tummy ache.
Yes,
Mhm.
we
Yeah,
find
sure.
out Batman him tummy hurt. And Okita gets her fucking sitcom entrance. I love this bit because she just fucking she walks in, is like, "How's it going?" and then immediately gets a phone call, and we
Yeah.
cut back to Ichijo and Godai,
Sorry,
and they have a little.
I
go
can't
ahead.
conduct any business in here. I have a phone call real quick. I'm not going to take it outside.
Yeah. So they have a quick conversation, and basically everyone's going to meet up in a big meeting to confirm their findings and everything, and so that'll be fun. We'll all get to hang out
Yeah.
with our friends.
Yeah, it's a nice little
and-
way to get the group together.
Yeah, I love getting the group together. We head back on over to Pol because it's important to see what our side characters are doing. We care about them, and we want to
Making
make sure
coffee.
we keep up to date. Yeah, Nana's working on coffee through the
device.
Chemex. Yeah. No, that's like a specific type of coffee maker that I'm like
I forget what
vaguely
it's
aware of.
called, but it's very neat. It
Yeah.
uses
Oh,
the
yeah.
pressure, so basically you like steep it as if it were like a French press
Mhm.
or tea, and then after that the water gets sucked out
Mhm.
into the other vessel, So it is bean free. It's cool.
It seems really neat. I would love to have a cup of coffee from that thing.
For sure. There's so many like cool and interesting ways to make coffee that I would love to fuck around with, were it not for the fact that in order to get those cool and interesting ways to make coffee, you first have to buy the device, which is expensive, and then you have to buy coffee beans, which is expensive, and then you have to buy a grinder to grind the coffee beans, which is expensive. It's a bit of a pricey process, but if you can do it, try it. Since I did get a chance to fuck around with them, if you can get your hands on a French press, do that shit. It's like surprisingly easy to use and makes really good coffee.
Yeah, I do not own a French press. I will secondarily recommend it for people who are conscientious of this sort of thing, because I use a Chemex, but the major difference between the Chemex and the French press is that you will need coffee filters for the Chemex.
Yeah, you don't need
whereas
filters.
The French press, you don't need anything. So
you literally just need the French press and coffee grounds.
You know?
It's real nice.
It's $20 at Target.
It's really not bad.
Well, think about it. I need to drink more coffee to justify it, it feels like. And I do drink a non-zero amount of coffee, but...
Yeah, but you gotta be...
But it's usually kind of a special occasion at this point.
Yeah.
Bring your coffees. The next step above that is buying better quality. The next step above that is grinding your own beans. I refuse to take many steps beyond that, because after that it starts getting to be like roasting your own beans and stuff.
Growing
like that,
them. It's just getting a plantation, like...
Combining different molecular structures together to make...
Yeah, learning strains of beans.
Fucking growing your own coffee bean. Your own custom
We don't live in a
strain.
good climate for... I don't think any of us live in a good climate for growing coffee.
No, probably
Nope,
not.
probably not.
You need humid tropical, right?
Coffee specifically thrives in environments that are very hot during the day and very cold at night.
Well,
Which unfortunately we don't have the
I
second
guess
part.
The desert. I'm almost there.
You might be able to make some good
I wouldn't know,
coffee in
yeah.
the hill country.
I was gonna
maybe.
say, yeah,
Oh,
maybe
for sure.
inland California towards Arizona, like maybe.
Anyway, Pops is working on his collage, his little ULF4 scrapbook. Pol gets a call from Mika where she's like, "Hey, my train's running a little bit late, so I'm probably not going to be able to hang out for as long as I want. Just wanted to make sure I let you know." Which is like, damn, I've had that conversation. It's not fun. It's not a fun conversation to have. But, sometimes life be like that. Sometimes you get stuck in traffic for 30 minutes unexpectedly. And you're like, yeah, I'm not going to actually be able to make it. Psych. We jump over briefly to a quick scene that is going to be setting up our actual plot for this episode.
Whoa.
We see a guy. He's in a pretty fucked up and evil looking room. He throws a dart at a poster of a guy. Hey, that poster looks a little bit like the poster for the flute thing that Mika is going to. Does it or doesn't it?
I don't know.
What
Who
a
knows?
coincidence.
I'm sure we'll see something better about it later on. In the meantime,
I got so confused though, because something along the lines of like, there's the word president on that poster, I think.
mm-hmm.
And my brain, when reading it the first time, just autofilled to like President of Japan, even though that's not how that works.
Yeah, the Japanese president Shinzo Abe is going to be there.
Oh, okay then.
Jesus
Well,
Christ.
I'm
Well, it was
less
2001.
worried now. As long as Mika doesn't go there.
And so I'm just like, wow, Garanki really stepping up their game of notoriety. Dang, finals aren't joking. And I'm like, wait a minute, no, I misread this.
No, I had a bad thought. I had an evil thought. No, you're not supposed to think things like that.
Oh no.
That's terrifying.
Think good thoughts of Yusuke Godai.
Let's think about good things. Let's go to our friendship meeting. Everyone is here. Literally everyone is here. We got John Whiteman, we got Sakurako, we got Enokita, we got Ichijo, we got Tsubaki, we got Godai. I feel like I already said Sakurako. Did I say Sakurako?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, everyone's here. The sexual tension is so palpable you could cut it with a fucking knife.
Everybody but... Actually, no, yeah, no. Literally everybody in this room wants to fuck someone else in this room.
Yeah, literally everyone in this room wants to fuck someone else in this room.
Insane.
It's
wild.
incredibly powerful. But so we get to learn from Tsubaki after his autopsy of the Batman, what it is that essentially makes the Grongi, which also kind of gives us a reasoning to why Daguva has been doing what he's been doing. It seems the Grongi have all had in their all-important belts that we've been focusing on because they keep fucking exploding, some sort of, like, a piece of a rock. Not like a full-on, like, a Amadon, like old Kuuga has, but like a piece of an Amadon has been in every single Grongi to date so far. And that seems to be the thing that has essentially turned them into weird animal beast people, in the same way that the Amadon allows Kuuga to turn into Kuuga and allows him to, molecularly reshape things to be cool spears and sticks and swords and etc. etc. These pieces of the Amadon are what allow the Grongi to Grongi, which is very worrying to Tsubaki because he's like, hey, why am I the only one here who's concerned that Godai is literally turning into a living mutant weapon? And everyone else is like, oh, no, don't worry. We already had this conversation with Godai.
Yeah.
He said it's going to be okay.
Yusuke says he's fine, so he's fine.
Literally a line said by Sakurako. Yusuke says it's fine, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I feel
Grabs
so
him by the
bad
scruff.
about... I feel so bad for Tsubaki, because there's like 2 different times where he face palms during this conversation. You can tell he is stressing out about this so bad. He's so concerned for this stray Labrador retriever that his boyfriend started dating.
Yeah, my note was like, I understand everybody's like unwavering faith and optimism in Godai, and I know that that's what Godai wants, and I understand completely, and I respect the people who have that, but I am very much on that page. I'm worried sick. Oh my god.
Yeah. And the poor Tsubaki, he finally like breaks down and he like I guess he tries to get some form of a legitimate answer out of these people. He's just goes, he finally breaks down and goes, so if Godai says he's fine, then he'll be fine? And Godai doesn't even say anything. He just looks at him and nods his head and then gives him a thumbs up. And then everyone else at the table thumbs up at him too. My man is getting fucking dogpiled. I feel so bad for him.
You mentioned it last episode, but he'd be such a good cult leader.
I was gonna say, look at my...
Yeah, I feel so bad for Tsubaki. Thank you for being the only person here. I mean, you're obviously not, but thank you for being the only person here willing to vocally be worried about Godai.
Bring some actual logic and reason into this conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand having, the faith in him. Like, oh, he's never let us down before. I believe he'll come back to us. I believe he'll be fine. He won't let us down. He never has. Oh, but sometimes you're worried about, especially since Tsubaki has, like, sort of looked into the physiological and neurological changes that have been happening to Godai throughout the process of him fighting and gaining more power and stuff. Are you not worried about what him presenting himself as okay is doing to him? I truly don't believe he is okay. I believe that he's optimistic for the time when things will be okay.
Yeah, as someone who, willing to show a rare moment of admitting one of my major flaws, as someone who spent a lot of time saying it was okay when it wasn't, that shit is not great for you or your mental.
Also can confirm.
Yeah, and that is basically what Godai has been doing this entire show. That's probably not great for him or his mental.
I care you, Godai. Please be good.
I guess at the
care you
same
so
time, I
much.
understand that I don't know what direction they'll go from here with their perspective on idealism, because idealistically he would be fine, and that even his greatest hardships would be something he can overcome, and I hope that for him very much. There's definitely always a part of me that worries, though.
I mean, how
I'm
can you
worried
not?
about him. It's a children's show that ended 20 years ago, but I'm worried about him.
Is he gonna be okay?
That's
Exit calendar.
That's the real strength of Kamen Rider, is that no matter how old the fucking show is, it can produce a protagonist for which you are always worried about them. You are always asking, are you going to be okay about your protagonist? And that's incredibly powerful of the show, I think. Also,
Good show.
Yeah, very good show. I also want to point out, and since we're talking about characters and growth and stuff, there is a specific point in the conversation that explicitly gets highlighted again by Tsubaki at the end of the conversation, in which Ichijo says, I think the effects of the stone should remain stable as long as Godai's will remains solid. And Tsubaki is like having his little mental breakdown, and then he does his like, so long as Godai says he's okay, he'll be okay. And everyone's like, yeah, he'll be fine. And he's like, God damn it, I hate you people. Hey, wait a minute. Stone. Solid. Was that a joke, Ichijo? Did you just do a fucking funny haha at me, you bitch? To which Ichijo responds, yeah, I guess it was actually a joke, huh?
Your boyfriend is infecting you with humor
I
and
have to get out of this room.
jovialness.
It's not worth it anymore. Sorry, Sakuraku.
I'm so proud of you for learning how to be able to joke, Ichijo.
Good job, buddy.
So we leave this meeting, which has a fun little conversation, like right at the very end of, Ichijo and Godai talking about the meeting. Ichijo's like, boy, that sure was a weird kind of meeting, huh? And, Godai's like, oh, it didn't really feel like a meeting to me. It kind of just felt like a normal hangout with my friends. And Ichijo's like, huh, a normal hangout with friends? What is friends? This is food you eat, friends? He does not understand this concept, and that's why we love him. And so now it is time to finally set up what is well and truly the plot of this episode, and more importantly, going to be well and truly the plot of the next episode. Mika is in town. She's officially made it to Tokyo. She is going to a big building. What for? Well, as we can see by a poster on the big building, she's going to a big flute recital. And hey, who's that on the corner of the poster for the big flute recital? Hey, isn't that president guy from that earlier scene? Hey, wait a minute. Doesn't that van have that other dude from that earlier scene too? And he's got that bag that he put a brown paper bag into earlier, and that brown paper bag was shaped like a gun. Oh, this might go bad.
Oh, buddy, we have problems that are not Grongi.
We have
No.
I think.
We have problems that are based in the episode name for our next episode of our next batch. Reality.
Boom!
No.
Got to
If
it.
anything happens to Mika.
Hey,
Mika, look out!
Guess what,
Mika.
motherfucker? Grongi,
No.
Warnot, and will never be the only problem society has.
I think
There are also some people that are just fucked up and evil.
I think as Mika will be overall fine.
We'll just
I
have
think
to
Mika's
see.
gone through
Yeah.
more than enough for anything to say that she shouldn't be better than fine. I think life should be good to her, please.
Yeah,
God
no,
looked at
that's so
Mika and said, you've had it good for too long.
Yeah, you had it too good for too long, you little fucker.
3 months.
It should have been me. No.
I believe in Mika's ability to be fine. We are shown in the Jikai that Ichijo is going
Gets
to
gay
be there
married.
at the scene. Yeah. He gets gay married to an older man without even asking Godai, which I think is fucked up.
This shit's gonna be wild next time.
Yeah.
Does Godai know what marriage is?
No.
Yeah, Super No,
No.
is the thing, is the problem.
Just no. There's no evidence of this.
I was gonna say Godai knows it saves some money on taxes somehow, but I don't think he knows what taxes is.
No.
Yeah, no, he's never paid this.
I don't think Goda has paid taxes. He's
Godai
an
is committing
adventurer.
so much tax fraud.
If Godai... See, the thing is, the police know, but given how much friends he is with the police, they're like, we can't arrest him. If he was as charming, if Al Capone was as charming as him, he'd never get caught.
I'm literally always saying this.
If Blank was as charming as Yusuke Godai of Kamen Rider Kuuga, they would never get caught. It's just an eternal sentiment.
Yeah, it is absolutely an eternal sentiment. Your fave would never. You're right. Fucking Yusuke Godai would never do this to me.
Your favorite never. Yeah, you're right. Yusuke Godai would never get caught.
Yeah, it's so true, Bestie. I'm always saying this. But yeah, that completes this little batch of episodes for this time around. What is going to happen to Mika? Will she be okay? We certainly hope so, but we can't say for 100% certainty. We are stupid close to the end of Kuuga.
Jesus.
49 total episodes. Again, if you need a refresher, we just finished covering episode 42.
We have 7 more to go. So yes, next time we are going to be doing another little short batch for episode 59. So that's going to be another 3 episodes. That is episode 43, Reality, episode 44, Crisis, and then episode 45, Arch Enemy.
Ooh.
And then that'll put us very close. We will, once we are done with that episode, we will have four total more episodes, and then Kuuga will be done.
We are so close. Wowee. It took about 6 months to cover this series, give or take.
Gosh, yeah.
Not only is it weird that we're close to the end of Kuuga, but it's also weird that we weren't even anywhere near the end of Ichigo at this point. Like,
Oh yeah, no.
wow.
Our efficiency has skyrocketed.
It really has.
We are growing. We are trying to improve.
We've become so powerful.
We are.
You're like halfway into a YouTube apology video. That one.
I pivoted there a little bit.
We are.
But if you want to
we are
show your
thinking-
support that we're improving, treat yourself to some nice snacks. You deserve it.
Yeah, there you go. You deserve it.
Clap,
clap, clap, clap, clap, clap.
Fucking brainworms.
A little bit.
Get us out of here.
Yeah, so thank you very much for joining us for this episode. We hope to see you at the next one. We hope you had a wonderful time. We hope you had a good day, night, whenever it is that you're listening to this. Take care of yourself. Be good. If you want to check out all the cool stuff that all of these people do, you can stick around for the end where there will be a little ad read that'll tell you all the cool places where you can see all these cool people do all their cool stuff. In the meantime, we will see you next time on the next episode. We hope you are as excited for the end of Kuuga as we are. And please always remember that if you can't believe in God and you can't believe in Buddha, you can always believe in Kamen Rider.
Thank you for listening to another episode of A Long Time Watcher, First Time Writer. If you enjoyed the podcast and want to help us out a little bit, you can head on over to the Patreon. Everything there is entirely free, but it functions as a tip jar if you like what we do and are able to support us. As for us individually, if you want to check out our random rambles and potential other projects, you can check out our social media links down in the description. And finally, there is an actual play OVA tabletop game, which is currently being run by one of our wonderful editors, Wurtzy. 2 of the players are our wonderful co-hosts, Action Shakespeare and B-Drops. If you want to know more, you can head on over to @HarborTales on Twitter. thank you very much for joining us for this podcast episode once again, and we hope to see you next time for when we talk about how good Kamen Rider Kuuga is, and if we should really be looking for alien life, or if it's time for them to try to find us.